The issue of voting by mail is heating up again, with the president tweeting concerns about the potential fraud and corruption it allows. Using this pandemic as an excuse to advance voting by mail is devious, hypocritical, and almost treasonous. If allowed, any attempt at preserving the integrity of our election process is completely breached. Not requiring identification to vote is equally corrupt. Voting is the greatest privilege we have as citizens. It is also the weapon of choice used to steal our right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as intended by our founding fathers. Mail-in voting would flood the country with millions of ballots like junk mail, all arriving within the same few days. Ballots would shower the countryside like dumping money from a helicopter. The more votes received from any area, the more money and federal benefits and power are inured. Those who claim they didn't receive a ballot would be able to request a provisional ballot, which leads to even more chances for fraud and corruption. Our obligation as caring and patriotic citizens is to take the time to vote for those initiatives and candidates we feel are best representing our core values of fairness, truth, sustainability, and integrity. Anyone who is not a citizen or votes multiple times is taking advantage of our country's generosity and trust, stealing our children's future. An absentee ballot is not to be confused with voting by mail. Any voter can request an absentee ballot and vote and return it by mail if they're not at home on the election day. Military and individuals who travel constantly would request an absentee ballot. Voting by mail makes voter registration campaigns even more ripe for fraud. They register the dead, use vacant addresses, and sign up those who are not as well informed or indifferent to the election process. It is the perfect source for getting ballots to cheat the system, eliminating any requirements for identification. Fraudulent votes would never be an issue if each person had to vote in person at the ballot box with identification. The object of an election commission is to make sure our voting is fair and accurate. It is not to increase voter participation, make elections cheaper, or make voting more convenient. If our brave soldiers were willing to storm the beaches of Normandy in order to preserve this privilege, no one should mind about the inconvenience of registering and voting in person on Election Day. This is Keith Kuby wishing you the best in making the world a better place.